nation. We declared our independence on November 29th, 2024 in Laki, Finland. When thousands of Biafrans from all over the world converged to declare their independence after a self-referendum that was conducted by over 50 million of Biafrans that participated, who voted overwhelmingly to exit and to leave the state of Nigeria. That was what we did in Finland. We redeclared our independence. For those of you that are not aware, the United States of Biafra, the Republic of Biafra, was a free nation, a sovereign nation between 1967 and 1970. Within that timeline, Biafra fought a brutal war with Nigeria. And at the end of that war, it was declared no victor, no vanquished. With the hope that those things that caused that war at that time will be looked into, will be rectified, and will be corrected. As we speak, none of that has changed. It has even gotten worse. With the official reintegration and rehabilitation of Boko Haram, ISWAP, ISIS into the Nigerian state by the Nigerian government, headed by President Tinubu and Christopher Musa, the defense chief. That existed between 1960 and 1970 has all been worse by the killing of thousands of Christians in Nigeria and in Biafra land. Courtesy of the policy of the Nigerian state. The terrorists that they reintegrate and rehabilitate from all over the world has displaced, has killed thousands of indigenous Nigerians, thousands of indigenous Biafrans. Many Christians are murdered daily by these reintegrated terrorists that we have brought into Nigeria by Tinubu, Buhari, and the rest of their politicians. The subjugation still existed. The oppression still existed. The abuse of human rights still existed. The killings, more importantly, the killings of indigenous Nigerians and indigenous Biafrans have persisted across all over these years, non-stop, by the Nigerian state. While these killings and these policies by the Nigerian state has led to the killing of thousands of indigenous Nigerians and indigenous Biafrans, the Nigerian government misinforms international and world leaders that they need help to fight terrorists in Nigeria, deceiving thousands of people all over the world. These terrorists did not come into Nigeria overnight. The Nigerian state, as we speak, maintains the policy to bring in all the terrorists from across the world into Nigeria. That is why Nigeria is a failed state. That was part of the reason why Biafrans all over the world converged in Finland between November 29th and December the 3rd to declare our independence, redeclare Biafra. That declaration was done and ratified in Finland. As we speak, United States of Biafra is a sovereign nation. The Biafra Republic government in exile was established by by our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa to facilitate the restoration of the independence of the United States of Biafra. Our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, our leader Nnamdi Kanu, our former leader Owasuike, our leader, supreme leader, the hero of the Odumegwu Ojukwu, all of them they fought to stop the killing of indigenous Nigerians, indigenous Biafrans, by President Tinubu and Christopher Musa and the past Nigerian state leaders. That was the only thing. That was the only crime Tinubu and Christopher Musa have seen. That was why they kidnapped our leader, Onyendu Nnamdi Kanu, from Kenya and forcefully moved him to Nigeria, where they've locked him up for the past 5 years, going to 5 years. Nigeria does not respect human rights. Over 3 courts in Nigeria have ruled on the case of Nnamdi Kanu versus the Nigerian state. And all of them, most of them, have exonerated Nnamdi Kanu and told Nigerian state to leave Nnamdi Kanu and reward him. As we speak, Tinubu and Christopher Musa have refused to do that. Rather, they lock him up in Nigerian DSS dungeon. They lock him up for nothing. The case has been ongoing for the past 5 years. They go to the Nigerian court. They disgrace themselves. They just play all those childish games, and they postpone the case as it pleases Tinubu and Christopher Musa, because their agenda is the same: to continue the killing of indigenous Nigeria, continue the Islamization of Nigeria, and continue to milk the natural resources, the crude oil that comes from the Biafra region. That is all they are interested in. But you know what? Not anymore. We will stop them. I and the United States and Biafrans, we have stopped them. Not even we will. Nothing will change that. It's like a woman who is being abused by the husband, and the woman succeeded to run away. There's somebody will tell the woman, you need to go back to your husband who's abusing you. That is never done. That will never happen. That is not the right thing to do. Anyone that participates in sending the abused woman back to the husband whom she ran away with, that individual is evil. And that individual must be confronted with evil. The United States of Biafra was born in Finland. Will ever change that. It is like a woman that delivered a baby, and then you tell that woman, oh, we don't like the face of this, your baby, therefore we are going to put this baby back into your womb. That will never happen. That is the course of the state of Biafra government. That is the wish of the Biafra people. This new nation has been born. Nothing will make that change. The Kenyan government has told the Nigerian state to release Nnamdi Kanu based on the action and the winning of the case by Nnamdi Kanu, which was instituted in Kenya, whereby the Kenyan government has admitted that Nnamdi Kanu was wrongfully removed from Kenya to Nigeria, and they rewarded Nnamdi Kanu. So Nnamdi Kanu won that case again. But Nigeria has refused to release Nnamdi Kanu. Nigeria is a lawless state, a state that does not respect. And if a state, we are just being a Nigerian is a certificate for death for you from anywhere. It could come, that death could come from anywhere, anyhow. It don't matter. That's why that name must be destroyed. It's already destroyed. For those of them that existed in that enclave, I am after my people. I'm also after the thousands of indigenous Nigerians who sorry, it goes again. That's okay. If you're a co-host, please do not do that again. So, as I was saying, the Nigerian state has done a lot of harm to our people. That was why we declared our independence and we exited Nigeria. Very, very happy.
Welcome, dear friends. I don't want to take
some challenges here and there, which the Nigerian state has already put in place, which we are already checking it out, the government. That is what they always do. They've always used every avenue possible to stop the restoration of the United States of Biafra, but this time they have failed. Because that which they know, we know 10 times of that. And we will continue to use the templates, the avenues, every avenue possible and internationally to stop Nigeria from coming after Biafra. That vision is our right. We have a right to choose who is going to be our leader. Self-defense is also our right. We cannot sit down in our homes and allow the Nigerian state to create Fulani mafias, Fulani military juntas they sent into Biafra land to continue to kill our people while we just sit and watch them. We must defend our people. We must defend our land. We also want to use this opportunity as we remember our leader, Nnamdi Kanu, and what he's going with the Nigerian state. I want to use this opportunity to also let him know. Do not be moved. Do not be moved for that which you think we already got.
welcome, Bill.
Different departments, the commissioners in the 40 states of Biafra, all the liaison heads, and all the stakeholders in the Biafra restoration. I want to use this opportunity to thank you for doing privately and publicly to ensure that no one, no man born of a woman tampers with this restoration which we already got. Again, for some of you that are not aware, the United States of Biafra have made all the criteria to be paid. We have our 40 states, we have our map, we have our people, we are creating our allies, and we are doing everything possible to ensure that any invading force inside Biafra land, such as the Nigerian state, is removed from our land. Because the United States of Biafra is a sovereign state. As we speak, any Nigerian security, police, army inside Biafra land is invading a foreign country. They must leave. We have formally and officially notified most of leaders of the independence of Biafra. We have the Biafran Liberation Army. We have the Biafran Defense Forces that are protecting our land round the clock.
1 minute, please.
Studying, playing chess, sitting in front of their peaceful communities in Arundisok. The Nigerian state, Christopher Musa and Tinubu, colluded with the legitimate governors of the Southeast and South, with some Biafran agents working for them, and invaded this peaceful community and murdered over 45 innocent Biafrans were murdered in this quiet community of Arundisok by the Nigerian state, Tinubu and Christopher Musa. These Biafrans have not committed any crime. They've not been tried in any law court. They have done nothing. They didn't invade anybody's land. They did not steal anything. They did not commit any crime. Nothing. These children have nothing. The Nigerian state sent their reintegrated terrorists in the middle of the night and in the early morning to murder them. Mercilessly, they were murdered in their homes, in their offices, in their little businesses. Some were just sewing clothes. They came in there and cut off their heads. With guns, AK-47, RPGs, given to them by the Nigerian state, Christopher Musa, and the Defense Minister, Christopher Musa. They killed them. They killed them. And has anybody heard anything from Tinubu? Okay. For the past 48 hours, when these innocent Biafrans were murdered, did the whole world, did anyone hear anything from the so-called Nigerian head of state, President Tinubu, or the defense, Christopher Musa, because they refused to leave our land? Did the legitimized governor of that state, has anyone heard anything? The world, has anybody heard anything from these criminals that their job is to kill and kill and kill as many of them as possible to scare Biafrans, to stop talking about Biafrans, not to take over their land? That is the only target. That is why with the murder of 45 innocent Biafrans, Tinubu has not said anything. Christopher Musa has not said anything. Babuzari Masaluda, Enugu State Governor Oti, none of them beat them back, but they all heard about these killings they saw where innocent lives were wasted. Have they talked publicly? No. Have they told the world that terrorists invaded their community? No. Have they told the world this type of killing cannot be accepted in this modern age? No. Have they commiserated with the families of these innocent indigenous Biafrans that lost their lives? No. Why? Because they are part of the plot to eliminate as many Biafrans as possible. Eliminate them. That is the order from Tinubu and Christopher Musa. Eliminate them. Hold them up. Kill them. Lock them up in DSS jails, in police stations, in jails across Nigeria and across Biafran land. And do not tell anybody anything about who they are, where they are, even if their family members are looking for them. That is the order from these criminal, evil individuals. Dear friends, it's time for you to rise up. Rise up and take them out. If you don't take them out, they will take us out. They have a plot. They have a plan. They are all Those of you that call yourselves Igwes and chiefs and the leaders, local leaders, and right under your nose, your people are being murdered by the second for no reason. Then what kind of governor or delegitimized governor are you? Even in the process of being delegitimized, what kind of governor do you claim to be? What kind of Igwe do you claim to be? What kind of chief do you claim to be in a process where you have people, Christians are murdered daily by these Islamic extremists that we are brought in by Tinubu and Christopher Musa into Nigeria and into Biafra land to kill us? And you think it's okay to keep quiet? You think you don't have to talk because if you talk, they'll come and kill you. Knowing fully well that whether you talk, whether you don't talk, there is a plot to eliminate all Biafrans. That is the plot. There are no two ways about it. So that they can continue to milk the natural resources we have and ship it abroad to those who give them billions every year. Why our land languishes, our people lives in abject poverty, no basic infrastructure, no water, no light, no internet, nothing, no standard hospital. Educational system is messed up. Zero. Almost all the schools in northern part of Nigeria have been shut down. Kidnap innocent kids that are in school, take them inside the bush. Some of them never seen again. Some of them become pregnant inside the bush. And you think it's okay to just keep quiet? You go to Abuja and sit in the House of Assembly chambers or Senate chambers and make noise. And make noise while your people murdered by the second. And you think it's okay? No, it's not okay. It's not okay. Biafrans have risen up. Biafrans will talk. Biafrans will stop this. The United States of Biafra cabinet and the government, we will stop this. It's a promise. May the souls of these innocent Biafrans that were murdered in R&D by the Nigerian state and the delegitimized governors and their politicians, may the souls of these innocent people rest in peace, and may we Biafrans, may this blood that were shed on 24th July, let it be the point, the turning point, that we remove all the terrorists from Biafra land. Be not deceived. There are Biafrans that are part of this. And as I always say, the Fulani terrorists can never enter Biafra land without the collusion of Biafrans. Some of them are here listening to what I'm saying. They call themselves Biafrans. They pretend they are looking for freedom, but they are not. What they do is they go behind and collect money from the Nigerian state and the delegitimized government. They collect that money, they plot with them to pretend as if they are part of what we are doing. While on the back end, all they do is to continue to do things that will make it difficult to be restored. Like I said, we know them all. We know their tricks. And those people that participated in the killing of these people in our reserve, the sponsors, those that engineered them, those that participated in that, we will fish them out. The United States of Biafra government, we will fish them out. Free. They and their generation will not go free. Because what they give to innocent Biafrans, they will get it. They will get it. Biafrans in the Biafra, please donate. We need all the money to be able to successfully restore our people and restore our land. We need the funds. Use the USDGov.org to donate. Use the New Dimension mandate to donate. We must flush out these terrorists that are killing our people. We are the ones that... Please, whoever is making this noise, Christopher, can you stop the person? If we do not remove these people from our land, they will remove us. This is why we need all the funds. The United States of Biafra is a sovereign nation. We've submitted and we will continue to submit the documents in the right places, both internationally and locally, to ensure and to get the recognition we need. Again, I want everyone listening to me to be very, very clear. Biafra does not need the permission of Nigeria to be a sovereign state. Those of you that are still thinking like that, that means you don't even know what's going on. An abused woman does not need the permission of the husband to run away from the house. That's just a classic example. We are a sovereign nation. We will continue to build our military. We will continue to build our police. We will continue to defend our people and our land based on all international standards that is approved. That is why the United States of Biafra is going to be one of the best countries in the world. We already have people that are indigenous Nigerians lining up to be citizens of the United States of Biafra. And the appropriate department are looking into all those applications as we speak. We are submitting the documents of the killings done by the Nigerian state to Biafrans at the right places. And I know Nigeria state have been receiving that information. I will meet them in court. The United States of Biafra government will meet them in court. Biafrans will meet the Nigerian state, Tinubu and Christopher Musa in court. We are planning on that every single day. That is why Nigeria will never win this battle. Nigeria is a failed state. It's gone. So those of you that are still trying to patch, see how you can manipulate that in Biafra land, you must stop. You must stop. Biafra must protect their land against people like you. It's a promise. We are still waiting for Finland on the bail conditions of our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa, but we know that our PM has no case. We know that Nigeria has failed in that case. The Nigerian government sacrificed. They want Finland to sacrifice our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa for the economic gain. Finland wants to build with Nigeria. Biafrans already know that. All indigenous Nigerians are fully aware of this contract. That is why that contract will not go anywhere. Our PM has no case. So Finland, as you continue to detain Simon Ekpa, to continue your fishing expedition, we, Biafrans, we are watching. The world is watching. Even the Nigerian criminal state you're partnering with, they already know that you're not going to be successful in this collaboration. So our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa needs to be released from Finland because he has committed no crime. The killings that happened in Arundi 2 days ago. This is what our Prime Minister Simon Ekpa Adinamdi is fighting to prevent from happening. That is all. That is what they are fighting to prevent. They want Biafrans to enjoy their peaceful communities. But the Nigerian state goes around the world, to Finland, to Kenya, to every country leader, lying to them, misinforming them. Oh, these are people, they want to segregate, they want to do this, but they refuse to tell you how they are killing innocent indigenous Nigerians, indigenous Biafrans. So, our Onyendu Nandikano, our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, have not done anything with it, except because if they have wrong, they will survive. You see, Madam Stella, can you mute your phone, please? So what they have done is to prevent the type of killing that Tinubu and Christopher Musa did in Aaron Isoko with Aaron Musadema and their Biafran agents like the DOS and the IPOD organization working closely with the Nigerian state. They are all the one hatching these killings. They are the one killing our people. So what they do is to go to international communities, international leaders, and lie to them about Simon Ekpa and Nnamdi Kanu. That's all they do. The killings that are going on in Nigeria today, in Biafra land today, the killing of Christians, the planned Islamization of the whole country, that is exactly what Simon Ekpa and Nnamdi Kanu was fighting. Nothing more. And Nigerian state colluded with their repression across globe, across countries, and told Finland to pick up Simon Ekpa and went on this childish case they tried in Finland court, disgracing Finland judiciary. But Finland, you fought for your own independence from Russia, right? You did that. And you were not branded terrorists, right? But what the Nigerian state tells you is to brand us terrorists. And you have the audacity and the gut to do that and arrest innocent Biafrans, like the four that you arrested in Finland. And after you release them, because you have no evidence, but you already arrested them, you punished them, castrated them for over a month. They lost their businesses. They lost their means of livelihood. One of them almost lost his life. They lost their family. You put their name on the list of terrorists in Finland. And at the end of all that jamboree, you said you do not have enough evidence to prosecute them as terrorists, as reported to you by the Nigerian state. Can't you see how Nigeria has made you to look like a fool, Finland? Now you release them. But most of the services they're supposed to be having in Finland, you still block them because you're colluding with the Nigerian state to stop. And you think you will win that? No, you will not. You better release Simon Ekpa. Let our Prime Minister go and be part of that process to help our Prime Minister build the United States of Biafra. Be part of that. Finland, you must be part of this process because you were part of the process during the Biafra Civil War with Nigeria. Finland, you participated in feeding millions of innocent Biafran children that were starved by the Nigerian state. You were part of that. So what changed? What changed at this time? What changed? What changed? Did money exchange hands? And you think the money is more important than human rights? Money is more important than human lives. Money is more important than the independence that you feel that you propagate. You think that is better? So Finland, President Alexander Stubb, released Simon Ekpa, helped him to build one of the freest nations in the world, the United States of Biafra. That oil that Nigeria wants to give you from the back by killing innocent Biafrans, by dealing with them, by subjugating them, those resources, we may still consider you to get it from Biafra land at the right price, at the right amount. And we trust you to do the right thing. So, the bail conditions we've not seen officially, I've not gotten any official report yet. They are still holding the Prime Minister as we speak. Just like Nigeria is still holding our Onyedu Nnamdi Kanu as we speak. Nigeria, you should release Nnamdi Kanu. Nothing you are doing will change this trajectory of Biafrans to remove all the Nigerian security apparatus from Biafra land, because Biafra is a sovereign nation. That will make the world a better place. Unlike the Nigerian state that have destroyed the world, destroyed every country they've come in contact with, destroyed any individual they've come in contact with. Dear friends, I wanted to bring to your attention that there is nothing like ESN in Biafra land. Nothing. The original Eastern Security Network that was in Biafra land, that are genuinely fighting for the restoration of the independence of Biafra, was collapsed into the Biafra Liberation Army and the Biafra Defense Forces. Those are the only things we have right now as we speak. The Biafra Liberation Army, the Biafra Defense Forces, the Navy, and the Air Force. We have the Nigerian, the Biafran Police, which we are building. Those are the only security apparatus we have in Biafra land right now, protecting Biafra land. Nothing like ESN. There is also nothing like IPOB as an organization. These are criminals that sold our Onyedu Nnamdi Kanu to the Nigerian state. We all are IPOBs, indigenous people of Biafra. That's what we are. But when you see those that parade themselves as IPOB organization, those are the criminals working with the Nigerian state. Recently, you see some of them opening offices in different parts of the world, Germany, France, all this nonsense. And you ask yourself, where have these criminals been for the past 5 years? Because they thought Onyedu Nnamdi Kanu will never come out. They were busy romancing the Nigerian state, answering Imam Mapawafu, Benjamin Maduku, China Samoru, all these criminals that are working with the Nigerian state, and whom the Nigerian government plotted with and is always looking up to them like the representative of Biafra, even though they know they are not. But they just use them to disrupt the original work of people like Prime Minister Simon Ekpa and my humble self. So anything IPOB organization does not exist anywhere in Biafra land. They are pure saboteurs working with the delegitimized governors in Nigerian state to ensure that Biafra does not come. They are our enemies. They are the enemies of Biafrans. I beg Biafrans and those listening to me to know that while we have Biafrans fighting for the restoration of Biafra being used by the Nigerian state internally. Let us also be mindful that there were some ex-Brigade cabinet Biafrans that are colluding and working day and night with the Nigerian state to ensure that we fully restore and protect our new nation, Biafra. Those of you following the media must have heard how Elias, the lobbyist that we hired to help us, is a stooge of the Nigerian state with the company he works for. The confessions are there by those that were working, colluding with them. And I want you all to know, all of them are in the same bucket. Do not be deceived. Do not divide them. Do not remove this. Do not add them. All the people that work together immediately after our declaration to tamper with this solid structure laid by the Prime Minister and all of them are in the same ship. Do not remove any away from that. They are all the same. They were all working together. They all planned it together. The only